Hello everybody and welcome. This is Adrian. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we have a game that's not been on the channel for a little while. We're going to be bringing it back with some Victoria 2. We're going to be playing with HFM. I do hope you guys enjoy the series. I know a lot of you guys actually really like Victoria 2 on the channel. It's my favorite Paradox game. It's been a little while since I played it, so I figured why don't we want to go ahead and play it. So, as you guys can probably tell from the thumbnail and from the title of this video, we're going to be playing as the Ottoman Empire. So I've actually played as the Ottoman Empire before. I've played as the Ottoman Empire before. I played as the Ottoman Empire, but we played in Continental Europe, which moves the start date back to 1821. We're not playing with that mod. We're playing with HFM on this one, Historical Flavor Mod. This is version 1.27. Link is in the description down below if you want to download it yourself. So, excuse me. We will, yeah, we're gonna be using HFM. It's a really cool mod. Love it. It's fun. It's awesome. We'll be playing as the Ottoman Empire, and we'll be trying to reclaim our lost glory. We're at war with Tripoli. We have the Russian Empire as a friend, in addition to the Khedivate of Egypt, Wallachia, Moldavia, the Sheikhdom of Kuwait. We have a lot of vassals and stuff. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. And we'll see what happens. And we'll obviously talk a little bit about the history of what's been going on during this time period for anybody who's interested. I know you guys love it when I talk about the history, and I'll do my best to talk about quite a bit of history, so we'll see what happens. Let's see. The ideals of the French Revolution were believed to have met their final demise at the hands of the ancien regimes of Europe. The flames of revolution may have been put out for now, but the ideas of nationalism and liberalism can never die. This new era of unprecedented technological progress, doubts will be cast on certainties. Certainties that have stood since time immemorial. Far away across the briny foam, the riches of Asia and Africa beckon. Maestro, choose your instrument and let the music play. So let's go and play as the Ottoman Empire, and we'll spend a couple minutes talking about the history of what's going on, and then, whoa, that's weird. Don't really know what that's about. That's kind of strange. Okay, I'll be right back. Let me go and tweak some settings. Okay, guys, sorry about that. We have returned. Okay, so yeah, so that issue is fixed. It was kind of weird, but we're better off now. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the history of what's been going on in this period. So it goes all the way back to the French Revolution of 1789. French Revolution of 1789 pretty much is arguably, I don't want to say the most important event in history. I would say it's probably one of like the top 3 most important events in human history. The Kingdom of France and its revolution in 1789, eventually the founding of the French Republic in 1791. Yeah, the execution of King Louis XVI, all sorts of stuff really changed the course of human history, changed Europe, changed everything. So the Ottoman Empire, around that time of 1789, was really kind of falling behind the Western powers. Russia had modernized a lot during the 18th century. Obviously, the Austrian Empire had expanded a lot. Prussia, the United Kingdom, Scandinavia. There was a lot of Enlightenment thought coming into those countries. There was a lot of change industrially. Move away from feudalism. More towards free market economics. I mean, Adam Smith released his Wealth of Nations in 1776, and mercantilism kind of became, outdated and discredited by the early 1800s. There was just a lot that was changing around that time. So there had been some wars between the Ottoman Empire and primarily Russia. The Russo-Turkish Wars went on for centuries. But the Russo-Turkish Wars of the late 1700s, I believe there was one from 1768 to 1774, and then there was another one from 1786, I believe, to 1792. Those wars solidified in the Ottoman Empire that the Western powers were becoming too powerful and that the Ottomans would not be able to defend itself. And a period of reform had begun at that time under the Emperor Selim III. And he was moderately successful. He faced a lot of backlash from different interest groups within the Ottoman Empire. Not to mention, there were revolts There was the Revolt of Greece in 1821. The Greek War of Independence kind of broke out. There was a whole lot of different powers that kind of got entangled in that. There was the Revolt of Serbia in 1811, which kind of solidified Serbia as this sort of national entity that people could, you know, point to and say, hey, you know, we want to be part of that state or part of that people. You know, nationalism really came around. You know, even like Romanian culture and that kind of stuff. You know, there was a lot of different nationalist movements that broke out around this time. And so, in Egypt in particular, Egypt was invaded in 1798 by France, by Napoleon Bonaparte and France at that time. And that is also what proved to the Ottomans that they were really, really falling behind the Western powers. And France was an innovator at this time. France was really making great strides in military, economic, and political innovations. They were making huge strides. You know, they were changing the game. And so with the invasion of Egypt in 1798 by the French, the Ottoman Empire decided, you know what, we really do need to change some things. There was a power struggle in Egypt. Eventually, this guy named Muhammad Ali came to power. He was an Albanian. He was born, I believe he was born in or around Macedonia, but he was actually of Albanian culture. Let me see if I can... Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, I believe he was born in Macedonia, but his family was all Albanian. Let's see. Or Circassian. Well, no, Albanian. There you go. Circassian's different. And so Muhammad Ali, he eventually came to seek power in Egypt. He was actually a really good general for the Ottoman Empire, and he eventually, with the power struggle that erupted in Egypt, with the French invasion of Egypt, he actually took power, was able to consolidate power, started his own dynasty in Egypt. And there was actually what they called, there's two different Oriental Crises. The first one occurred around the Greek War of Independence. So the Greek War of Independence broke out in 1821, and the Ottoman Empire pretty much needed help with it. And so the Ottoman Empire said, hey, Egypt, we'll give you all of this if you come and help us out. Now, Muhammad Ali, because he was technically legally a vassal of the Ottoman Empire, and everybody in the international world recognized that, Muhammad Ali said, okay, I'll help you out. So he went over to Greece and was actually very successful in almost turning the Greek rebellion around. The Western powers were so concerned about this that actually a coalition of Britain and France, and to some extent Russia, actually sent in troops and supplies and a navy to defeat Muhammad Ali, and destroyed his navy, you know, wrecked his army, and told him pretty much withdraw. You have to withdraw, or else we're going to invade Egypt. You know, and it scared the crap out of both the Ottomans and the Egyptians. Muhammad Ali had no choice but to withdraw. And so Greece would eventually become independent, and Muhammad Ali would actually, so the emperor, right? The ruler of the Ottoman Empire, the Sultan, he was actually reluctant to give this territory back to Egypt. He was reluctant to give the territory he promised to Egypt. Because eventually the goal that he wanted for Greece to not be independent failed, right? He failed in that goal. And so the Sultan was really kind of reluctant to give the promised territory to Egypt. And so Muhammad Ali invaded and took the territory himself. This was around 1830. He took it himself, and he kind of rebuilt his navy, kind of rebuilt his army, started to modernize Egypt in a way that the Ottoman Empire could not compete with. And pretty much he made it all the way over here. Muhammad Ali and his army, he sent a couple expeditions as well by his son. Just a whole lot was going on at that time. And there was actually fears that Muhammad Ali would be able to march into Constantinople or Istanbul and actually overthrow the Sultan and take power himself in the Ottoman Empire and reform and kind of have this new revitalization of the Ottomans. There was a huge fear. Britain, France, and Russia shit their pants at this. And so the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire pretty much asked the Russians for help, Tsar Nicholas I, and said, hey, you got to help us out. Muhammad Ali is actually going to win if you don't help us out. And so Russia pretty much threatened to send in troops. Muhammad Ali withdrew, but the powers agreed Russia, Britain, and France agreed that Egypt should get this territory that was promised to them. So actually, this is how in the beginning of the game, in 1836, why Egypt controls all of this territory. It's a core, but it's also a core of ours, right? So that's what explains that. And so here we are in 1836. Excuse me. Here we are in 1836. We're at war with Tripoli. Tripoli's trying to break away, trying to become free. We're not going to let that happen. Probably send some troops out from... actually, do need to get... I'll probably send this stack. We're going to go and wreck Tripoli. We're going to get that back for us. We have Tunis as a vassal. We have the Ottoman Empire as a vassal or satellite. We have some satellites over here. So we control Mesopotamia proper, but we actually have Babon, Hakkari, Bitlis, Botan as vassals. We also do have Wallachia and Moldavia as vassals, and the Principality of Serbia. We're allied to the Russians, which is kind of nice. And he's at war with Circassia and I believe the Caucasian Imamate. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. And so we're going to try and revitalize the Ottoman Empire. Will we be successful? I hope so. Absolutely, I do. I hope so. We're going to try our best. Let's see, we're moving these troops. Yep, here. We have, let's see, what's our population now? 5.39 million adult males. Our total population is 2.1 million. Bulgaria is our most populous state. We're actually going to go ahead and encourage some bureaucrats there because we need some money. Let's see, we have mostly farmers in the Ottoman Empire, about 68% farmers. Laborers, 20%, artisans, 7%, soldiers, 2.3%, which is pretty good. We're going to need to get that up. We have, let's see, 126,000 soldiers. Yep. Let's see, our culture is a minority. So Turkish is a primary culture. We have 34%. Greek is 16%. Bulgarian, 13%. Albanian, 7.5%. And just a whole lot of different cultures here. So what we want to do is we want to revitalize ourselves. We are going to be running into a second Oriental Crisis, however, in like 1839, 1840, but we'll deal with that when we get to it. We are a great power. We are 8th in the world as a great power. We have the 3rd strongest military, pretty much a shit industry, and pretty crappy prestige, which is unfortunate. So we need to kind of change things around. We got to change our ways. So let's take a look here. We have some decisions that we possibly could take. Let's see. Reform the Ottoman colonial army, the imperial anthem of the Ottoman Empire. Let's see. What does this do? A peace of a state and government. Let's see. Cradle of civilization. Sort of science, revolution, counter-revolution. Form. Let's see. Enslave the serfs. A peace. Current government is reactionary. Invented state and government. Slavery is allowed. We get the abolition of serfdom. Interesting. Serfs who occupied a plot of land are required to work for the lord of the manor who owned that land. In return, were entitled to protection, justice, and the right to exploit certain fields within the manor to maintain their oaths assistance. Serfs were often required not only to work in the lord's fields, but also his mines, forests, and roads. Interesting. A lord of the manor could not sell his serfs. On the other hand, if he chose to dispose of a parcel of land, the serfs associated with that land stayed with it to serve the new lord. That's kind of interesting. So what, this enslave the serfs means we bring back slavery? I guess slavery is actually technically still allowed right now. Let's see. Tanzimat Turkish for reorganization was a series of reforms enacted by the Ottoman state during the latter half of the 19th century. We need nationalism and imperialism, or average militancy and consciousness need to be high. Okay. Let's see. Political reform selected unitary, indirect rule, peonage outlawed. Okay. Interesting. All right. Claims in Montenegro. Interesting. It's kind of cool. Let's see. End Moldavian self-rule. Peace, national imperialism, war policies, jingoism, Moldavia. So we can annex Moldavia, centralize the Kurdish states. That'd be pretty nice. Tanzimat reforms. Kurdish is a primary culture. Oh, all countries that... Okay, okay. So we would release... Yeah. Okay, I get that Turkish tea. Revoke Kuwait's autonomy. So there's a lot that can go on here. Actually, it's pretty interesting. So we can actually integrate some of our vassals, which is actually kind of cool. We can integrate some of our vassals, which is actually pretty cool. So let's take a look here. So our government is an absolute monarchy. We have 5% plurality, 8% revanchism. We have a conservative party in power, but since we're a monarchy, we get to pick. We could go for protectionism, state capitalism, moralism, residency, jingoism for the reactionaries. Not a bad idea. These are the liberals: free trade, interventionism, secularized, pacifism, full citizenship. I do like the jingoism, and I like the state capitalism because we can build our own factories. Import cost plus 50%, however. Interventionism, factory owner cost. Yeah, I don't know. We may pick state capitalism. Interesting. Yeah, so the first thing we're gonna do is deal with this Tripoli revolt, right? Let's see, what do we produce? Wood, grain, wool, lumber, and fruit. We're gonna go ahead and probably, so we want to encourage investment in the middle class and the upper class. So we're gonna tax the poor, and I'm hoping we get a boost education, probably maybe boost administration spending. We'll see how that goes. Let's see, we have £100 in national bank, total funds. Okay, right now we're projected to lose money. We're gonna need, we may boost tariffs temporarily. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. We may actually have to boost, this taxation, at least until our economy gets off of its feet. Or until our economy gets on its feet. So we have an army here. This is 6, 3, and 1. Not really ideal. I'm going to go and drop 2 of these guys, I think. Load these men onto ships. Let's see, how many ships we have? So we have 3 transports. That's it? Wow. Let's see, research? Let's take a look. What do we need to research? Definitely industrial techs. We're behind on army and naval techs. Commerce techs also aren't great. We're going to want to get idealism in 1840. We have shit literacy, 6.4% literacy in our country. Intellectuals, we really don't have a lot of intellectuals. We're going to have to improve that. Freedom of trade's pretty good for a lot of things. We're going to go for freedom of trade first, I think, unless there's a better thing to go for. Ideological thought would get us more national focus. You know, we should maybe go for that, actually. It's pretty smart. All right, that national focus is going to be pretty important. We'll reorganize our armies and train up new troops in a bit. So we need to definitely get over here and take out Tripoli. We'll be probably going to war with the Egyptians sometime in the future. Like I said, there is going to be another crisis, an Oriental crisis. So we'll have to be able to deal with that. So we'll send reinforcements. We're going to send some troops over here. Let's see, Razid Mehmed Pasha. Choose a trade policy. Let's see here. Minimum tariff efficiency. We'll go for flexibility in our tariff policy. We'll keep the conservatives around for now. Yeah. So let's focus right now on just destroying Tripoli, the Tripoli revolt. We'll do speed. How about speed 3? Should be enough. Okay. Let's see. Restauration, the Kingdom of Sardinia. Let's see. Splendid isolation. Enabling this feature will enable splendid isolation for the UK. It will break alliances with any great power except for Portugal, Ottomans, Belgium, or Japan. I'll take that. So, how's our relations right now, actually? So, France dislikes us. Morocco likes us. Let's see if we can influence Morocco. Don't want to influence Algeria, necessarily. We got to make sure we're influencing our small vassals. Because we are a great power, so we can influence people. Let's see. Let's make sure we influence these guys. Let's see. Want to influence... Let's see. Ardalan. Here's satellite of Persia. Okay, so there's a couple Persian satellites there. We could ally Persia. Don't want to accept Ottoman or the Khedivate of Egypt. Let's see. Hijaz. So here's Kuwait. Bahrain. Is a satellite of, yeah, Bahrain. Okay, so this guy's actually he's not a satellite of ours. He's just in our sphere. Hijaz Vilayet, yeah, so he's a satellite. So, okay. Civilized Nation Autonomous Dependency. Okay. And then Tripoli, we're going to annex. That's going to become ours. All right. Let's see, so we're losing some money here. We may want to boost taxes for now. Just because I don't really want to necessarily boost tariffs, because tariffs are pretty painful. Let's see. Najd wants an alliance. I'm going to go in decline, although I will... Well, we actually could just conquer them and establish protectorate. It's expensive at this time. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so we want to improve relations also with the Brits. And then we do have really good relations with the Russians. We actually want to improve relations there because I don't necessarily want to lose this Russian alliance. It's actually pretty useful. So we'll see what we can do there. Let's see, France has invaded Algeria once again. Let's see, we have a decent general. Tech -2, unfortunately. He's actually the only general that we have around, so I'll have to keep him for now. Tariffs actually don't help us out that much either, do they? Once we get more bureaucrats, we're gonna make more money. So let's just play it safe. Actually, we'll go up to speed 4. Yeah. Our troops aren't great. Could be better. So we're losing money now. We do need more intellectuals. So we're taking on some debt here from our national bank. Ooh. Oh, that was convenient. Yeah, so we're taking on some debt, at least until our economy gets off the ground with the bureaucrats. Okay, so let's go and occupy this. Let's see, we have some irregulars apparently. I don't like irregulars, they're not that great, so we'll just put them back in the manpower pool. Let's see, do we have enough recon here? We do. Just use more troops. Let's see, pressing concerns. Reform-minded MPs in Parliament have reformed in a new coalition to push the agenda for press reform. So what, I'm actually kind of curious. What politics do we have? So we have, let's see, yeah, only underground parties. Appointed upper house. We have illegal trade unions. We have a service by requirement draft. That's actually pretty good. We have no voting. We have regionalism as our centralization. We really should probably be unitary or, yeah, probably unitary actually is pretty good. Political rights restricted. First past the post voting system. Meetings not allowed. Slavers allowed, which is interesting. How many slaves do we have? Apparently we only have 20,000 slaves. That doesn't seem like a lot. I mean, I already know the US has much more. Interesting. Let's see, what do we, kind of curious. What do we... So we export fabric, furniture, and iron, and we import fish, tea, and livestock. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. I wonder if we should try and influence Greece. I'm kind of curious about that. I don't know. The relations with these guys and these guys, they'd be more likely to help me in conflicts. We have their help. Yeah, our income is pretty shit. And the tariffs aren't helping. We do need to definitely keep intellectual spending up, though, because we have to... You bastards. Let's see how fast we can actually siege this down. So we get no siege efficiency because we don't have any engineers. We can't train them either. Yeah. And then we have dragoons. Those are expensive. You should really have hussars, not dragoons. Interest. This interest is definitely going up. Let's see, Nicaraguan thaw. Yeah, so we'll try and bring the Ottoman Empire back from the brink. We're gonna need to move troops almost certainly over to the European side. Or to the Anatolian side. Let's see, we have troops up here. Supply limit is not great. Come on, you bastard. So the thing is about Victoria 2 is that you take attrition every time you sit down in a province. Whether it's your own or whether it's the enemy's. That's quite unique compared to other Paradox games. Okay, so finally we're making some money. Okay, we'll pay off this debt, and then I'm hoping we can lower the tariffs. Let's see, that ideological thought will help us out with reforming our empire. We actually get a lot of people. We actually have that's some pretty crazy growth. It's pretty nice. Most of our population is conservative, not really reactionary. We have 50.8% Sunni and 43.5% Orthodox. Very interesting. Trying to get more intellectuals and sort of thing. I'm going to reduce this naval spending for now. Hopefully that'll make us some money. Army spending probably needs to be up at full cost. But I don't know about naval spending. We might be able to have some leeway with that one. Restauration and the Papal States. Oh, really? Shit, the Russians broke their alliance with us. That's unfortunate. I'd like an alliance with the Brits if that's the case. At the very least, we got to keep Russia kind of friendly. Let's see, current wars. Okay, so if we didn't have that, would he take it? Maybe. Too many alliances. Distance. Threats. Relations. Okay, we'll keep boosting relations. I may be able to get it. I don't know. Okay. Well, finally, dude. Yeah, I'll get a clue. Form local government. Let's see, choose a tech school, secular society. Okay. Let's keep boosting relations there. We'll see what happens with that. Can I drop down these tariffs? Okay. Alright. And we're replenishing some troops here. So we have the majority of the army over here. Like I said, we may have to go to war with Egypt, I'm guessing sometime in the future, so we'll keep troops on the borders. Almost certainly. So we really don't have a lot of money. We don't have a lot of administrative efficiency. We do have a lot of soldiers, but we just don't have the cash for a lot of this. You know, we should check is whether or not we have irregulars. We actually do in several places. Irregulars are pretty terrible troops. We do not want to use them. I'd rather have... Let's see, cuirassiers also aren't the most ideal in the world. These fucking irregulars, man. So we're gonna have a rally point, naval and a land rally point in Istanbul. Let's see, where's another good place? I'm thinking Baghdad. Maybe Ankara? Ankara's not bad. How about Mersin? as well. So we want more infantry. Could use... What else do we need? Artillery, probably. We're going to want to reorganize most of these stacks. So these are spahis. These are all just cavalry. Regular cavalry. I think we have enough cav. Honestly, we might even actually probably have too much. I'll actually get rid of some of these guys. We have enough cav. So cuirassiers are good, but they don't give you any reconnaissance bonus, which you need for sieges. Sieges moving around quickly. We could use, I think, definitely infantry and some more artillery. Yeah, we'll do something like that for now. Okay, so you do not want alliance. France is relatively unfriendly to me. Let's get that alliance back with the Russians. We want to keep that alliance. If we can keep that alliance, really, we should. It's useful. Especially because we're going to be having some political difficulties here in the future. Mazzini arrested. Giuseppe Mazzini, a figurehead of the nationalist movements across Europe, was arrested by Sardinian policemen. Interesting. There's the Austrians. How do the Austrians feel about me? They're pretty neutral. Okay, so we're buying up goods for artillery and infantry. We can even get more troops. Yeah. So let's take a look here at our stacks. What you ideally want. Wow, we really don't have a lot of artillery, do we? What the ideal stack is usually 1 unit of hussars, about 5 infantry, and about 5 artillery. The thing is especially in the Middle East, we do not have... In the Middle East, we do not have... let's see. Let's put this guy in there. I really want to get rid of these cuirassiers. Can we build hussars? I don't think we can actually build hussars yet. Yeah, we need to work on our military staff system first. The only thing is in the Middle East, we have really, really shit supply limit. Yeah, we're going to need to get rid of some of these cav. I think we just have too much. So this is 3 infantry. We need 4. And then, let's see. Actually, I need to bring over probably these 2 guys. We need some artillery for this stack. Let's actually go and keep all these cav over here. This is all just cuirassiers. Holy shit. So this is okay-ish. There's the Ascension of Queen Victoria. Today in the year of our Lord 1838, William IV, by the grace of God, King of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, Defender of the Faith, died at Windsor Castle. Princess Victoria of Kent, William's niece, found herself ruling one of the greatest powers and the biggest colonial empire in Europe. Good to know. So there's our name. Okay, so we got some more artillery coming out this way. I could use more artillery for this stack. Let's get rid of these cuirassiers, I think. They're good, but I mean, honestly, this is the thing. Is regular cavalry, they're actually quite shit at combat, but they provide reconnaissance, which is actually fairly useful. So, yeah, we need more artillery for sure. It's definitely one of our largest expenses. I'm getting rid of these cuirassiers, I think. They're expensive and they're not worth their cost. They really aren't. Yeah, we'll send some troops that way. We need some artillery for this stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What can I get from here? 1, 2, 3. How about I send 3 that way, and I actually need 1 more over here in Antakya. Let's see. I don't mind consciousness. It's not that bad. Compared to militancy, it's not that bad. So apparently we have the 2nd strongest military power in the world. It's kind of interesting. Let's see. Could use in the Near East. Okay, so we have, let's see, 5 infantry here, 1 cavalry, 3 artillery, and then we should have the same here, like 513. It's an okay amount. It's, you know, supply limit, like I said, is going to be kind of what's going to kill us is attrition. It's just we take too much attrition walking through provinces, but that's kind of a given. I mean, you have no choice. You have no choice. Let's take a look here. What do we have? Oh, that's right. You guys are walking through this territory. I should actually, I'm going to make, I think Tripoli one of these positions too. Well, no, actually, you know what? Tobruk I think works out better. Let's actually not use Tripoli. Okay, so you guys are infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys have enough, yeah, you guys have enough cavalry and infantry. What you need is artillery. So I'll send you guys over there, yeah. Could use more artillery. Income is okay, not great. It's not great. We're probably not doing a lot of investment because we don't even have any capitalists, to be fair. We don't even have the literacy for it. So, no big surprise there. Definitely increase relations with the Russians. I don't mind relations with the French that much. They're not really going to help us ever. The Austrians may be actually somebody to be friends with. Probably not a bad idea. So the Khedive of Egypt is opposed to us. Now he's our vassal, so he has no choice anyway. Let's see, foreign investment. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Yep, so 5, 1, 3. Okay. Let's move over here. So the more troops that we have, the better our military score is going to be. You have to have troops in the field, not necessarily just soldiers. Pretty much, the more troops you have, the more equipment you're buying, the better your military score. So we really should have a fairly decent 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually, I'll move you over. Move you over. So we need more artillery for that. So this guy's 5 artillery. I'm actually gonna go in. I'm gonna grab one of these guys. I'm gonna put him over here. Yeah, artillery is a big deal. Yeah, so 514 is actually pretty ideal. 30,000 in one stack. That's not bad. And then we have these guys. Like I said, the supply limit is just awful. You know, supply limit's just terrible. Ugh. So we'll see what we can do. Let's actually take a look here. What is the number? So as far as overall score, the Netherlands is who we're competing with right now. Okay. Let's see. Tensions dissipate. Okay. We could grab more artillery. It's probably a little expensive, to be fair. So apparently Bosnia is now one of our most populous states. That's kind of interesting. Retail distribution. We have 6 million males. Wow, really? Only in a couple years. We actually have 6 million adult males now. That's crazy. And apparently our slave population is growing. I think it grows yearly, if I remember correctly. Let's pay back some of this debt real fast. So we've reduced the tariffs. That's good. Because you don't want a lot of tariffs. Although I may have spoke too soon about paying off some of our debt. Naval spending would be expensive as shit. Let's see. So we should definitely buy some more machine parts. Machine parts. Probably we would want... I'm thinking clipper convoys would be something to do. I'm buying up stockpile. Yeah, so clipper convoys. Steamer convoys are not in high demand. Who makes them? The UK, East India, and the United States. Clipper convoys are in high demand. Because we don't really produce much. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Okay. So we have like 3 pretty decent armies. We definitely need more artillery though. But we have 3 fairly decent armies. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I think we're going to take a quick break here before this episode gets too long. We're well on our way though. Let's go ahead and finish up this ideological thought. So we need bureaucrats, we need intellectuals. The bureaucrats, once we get more bureaucrats in all of our states, we're going to be looking a little better. Just because, let's see, Southern Serbia is also very populous too. Yeah, just because it's expensive. We need people. You know. Wow, yeah. So Nice, actually, Southern Serbia grows really, really crazily. Oh, okay. So that's kind of cool. We're growing extremely fast, actually. That's pretty crazy growth. That's nice. Let's see. We're definitely going to want to make these from colonial states into regular states sometime in the future. Not now, necessarily, but definitely sometime. Our accepted cultures, by the way, are just Turkish. So, aid an expedition. Okay. So what are we going to research next? That's actually a really good question. Medicine would be pretty nice. You know what? Actually, I'll probably go for medicine. Because we get supply limit. Yep, that's kind of important. It's one of the most important texts of the game. Let's take a break here, guys. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon. Let me know if you guys are excited for this campaign. I'll see you soon. Thanks so much.